a good thing everybody gets along so good. It's Saturday morning, and where's Don?
Read the paper.
With his coffee.
Yipper. So, inside the front page, another update on the Durham Orange light rail, which runs from basically Chapel Hill area up to downtown Durham. 15 or 17 miles, I think. It's not humongously long, but it's 15, 17 miles is pretty long. It has to get all the I's crossed and T's dotted by the end of April to get $1.2 billion in federal money, and they have to get the federal money before they get approximately $200 million in state money. The whole project now, current cost is $3.2 billion. So basically, Durham and Orange County are on the hook for approximately $2 billion, and some of that has to do with raising money to buy right-of-ways, and they have $110 million of right-of-ways they have to secure between now and the end of April. But all of that is nothing compared to the Duke Hospital, those reluctance. They have basically blocked the project because of an at-grade crossing of Irwin Road at Cameron Road.
Boulevard, I think it's.
Yeah, Cameron Boulevard, Irwin Road and Cameron Boulevard. Let me tell you, that is a not good intersection. And it's right by the hospital. In fact, they're talking about the rail's going to be within 100, barely outside the 100-foot limit. So Duke's concerned about the noise and the construction affecting patients in the hospital, not to mention ambulances and such trying to get into the hospital. So this is a big deal. And
just patients, they see a lot of outpatient services, because I went to one recently.
That's right.
So there's a lot of people in and out that aren't even just there for stays in the hospital.
So Duke, nobody's commenting, but the clock is ticking. The Go Triangle has set the end of this month, February, the time that they want to get all the negotiations completely done, so they can get the paperwork signed and stuff by the end of April and get it submitted by the end of April. But they, quickly running out of time. I guess what I'm getting at here, in some ways, this could be good. Obviously, I'm not for light rail as a general concept, but in particular, maybe a delay of a year or two of this project, because they're probably not going to give up. They'll just regroup and try again. Could allow autonomous technology to solve this problem.
Electric buses.
Electric buses. But the other thing I was thinking this morning, which is why Marianne wanted to video this, is in some ways the force Duke, let's fix, if you're going to do this light rail, let's do it right. Let's get away from at-grade crossings going right through major pedestrian and traffic arteries. Do a tunnel. I don't think an overpass would work, because above grade rail would work, because that's still all the noise, and it would certainly address the traffic concerns, but the noise and stuff like that, which would be ongoing forever, that wouldn't fix that problem. So the only thing that'll take care of the problem is making a tunnel, and of course that's going to drive the costs up just astronomically. But if you're going to do this, you should do it where it really is a solution instead of just a patch on a problem. Because you can't go back after you spend all that money and say, well, we're going to put it underground now. And that's you think it's going to be expensive. It'll be really expensive if you do that.
We're piled in Ruby to go to the
Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, the buffet for lunch today, because we're headed to the glass station for demo later on and to pick up Don's project piece. And that's at 6 o'clock, and it's sort of hard to time dinner with that. So I came up with the grand plan of Chinese buffet, nap, glass station. And Johnny's in the back here too. We waited to do Don's birthday trip to the Chinese buffet. We can call it Valentine's Day trip to the Chinese buffet too, since it's in the middle. When Johnny was around to go with us. Here by the Chinese buffet is a Performance 100D Model X. Today in the Hot Wheels section are all these different style, pickup trucks. Surf Rescue.
You better pick up the pickup truck.
Yep, I will. Don't worry. Leave things better than we find them. Does this mean there's a new Fast and Furious movie out? We're over here walking off our meal at Walmart, and wow, that's some Valentine's Day balloons up there. Our Walmart has a new FedEx.
So Transport Evolved, Nikki, she had her news show for Friday, yesterday, and she said that Nissan has announced that they're only going to sell electrics of this van, the NV200 will only be electric in Europe and everywhere else in the world, except of course North America. North America, of course, has to remain gasoline. I wonder why. Could it be that they just don't want Americans to know that electric vehicles are the answer? Or do they just want us to continue to have to impact the environment, import foreign oil, you know, hostage to the oil companies? I mean, if I was an oil company, I'd send Nissan big money to say, hey, don't sell any more electric cars in America. I mean, Nissan Leafs are fine, but don't get serious.
We really enjoyed the buffet, like we figured. We all are in a, you know, close to being in a food-induced coma now, even though we tried to behave. And we do have probably enough time to catch a quick 45-minute nap at the house before we have to take off to the gas station. So that's a bonus. Oh, and Dawn discovered that the buffet is much cheaper at lunchtime, like $3 a person cheaper at lunchtime. So I suspect we'll be going for lunch more often now. We've started our trek over to the glass station. Just came past South Park, and Ruby says round trip estimate is 21%. That would be sweet if we got back and still had 21%.
Yeah.
Are there still Teslas over here at the Sam's Club? And the answer is there sure are. Not saying they're the same Teslas, just that there are still Teslas there. She gonna take the exit? Let's see. She do that, Donnie?
Yep.
Put the turn signal on all on her own?
Yep. She did good.
Yeah, well that was kind of like a interstate road to interstate road.
Yep.
Exit.
We even have a free-flowing merge lane here.
Is in its final stages of setting behind us, but sometimes even in front it's beautiful shades of orange, pink, and purple. I wasn't expecting to see Lime bikes right here in Farmville.
There and a bubble, there it comes.
Oh, very cool.
A bubble appears.
Wow.
So I got that whole sphere fairly hot, and I'm going to gently swing it. It's not quite stretching the way I like. I'm going to just refresh the heat now before I get it too long. I can control the shape it stretches into by how I heat it. I actually wanted this to taper a little bit. Usually I'm going out of my way to get it stretched evenly like that, but I don't want it to happen. It happens. So there we go, we're getting that taper. You might sometimes see glass blowers swing the pipes around in a circle. We do that because we're impatient. I always tell people that if you can't get it with just a gentle swing, then you're not hot enough. Also, we do the swing around to show off. It does look awesome. Keep the entire piece warm while I'm working. Glass doesn't like to go below 1,000 degrees quickly, or it cracks from thermal shock. So for the bottom, I'm just going to use this burnt up wooden paddle and gently press it in. Alright, so now it's flat. Now people won't complain that it won't stand up. So a punty, well, we refer to a solid rod in my hand as punty rods. And a punty kind of refers to that little bit of glass on the end. It's basically just a temporary handle that will attach to the bottom and break the piece off the pipe. Center, and I will play it. Alright, and it should, just a little touch, right off. Opening there where that bubble enters the glass. Several options for what I can do here. I think the first thing is I'm going to use a tool called a Sofietta. We also just call them buffers to inflate the top a little bit. So we are able to inflate the glass even once it's broken off the blowpipe. So this is the Sofietta here. There we go. Now I'm using the jack just to open that up a little bit. Then put another constriction here. And I'm going to start pulling out while doing it. Oops. This is thinning that top glass up there because I do not like the lips on vessels to be thick. Then another constriction there. If I was more daring, I would have knocked it off right then and there, but I'm not daring. And touch. So, by pulling that out, I thinned the glass, the lip of that vessel quite a bit. And I have to heat Sophie again. I'll get this fully open in one go. Alright. Now it's not perfect. More than your first one.
That was pretty impressive, especially without a
I can do it in 12
helper.
minutes because I've done it a couple hundred times. Alright, so I'm just going to knock this off and put it in the kiln. Or else it will crack from thermal shock. So that kiln is on at 900 degrees, and at the end of the day when we're done working, we just load work in it all day. At the end of the day when we're done working, we run a program on it that will slowly cool the glass down at a safe rate. A piece like that was thick. I could cool that safely in 6 hours. But you have to anneal, that's what the whole process is called, for the thickest thing in there. And so our standard cycle is 24 hours, which is good for about an inch, maybe a little over in thickness. All right, what next? I got like 4 or 5 things in my mind. It's not actually solid, because this thing would weigh 20 pounds if it was solid. But it is closed. I couldn't blow through this. And I'm going to do a bit of
We've not watched him do any projects that on a solid rod.
And this time I'm going to put color on it. Now, we only know clear glass in our furnace. To get color, what we do is we buy pre-made colors that are compatible with the glass we melt, and we can just dip our hot glass in and they'll stick to it. So I put it over here because I'm using a glass powder tonight, and glass powders are a potential health hazard. I wanted it closer to the ventilation. I didn't want it right there in front of everybody. The color I'm putting on here is called iris yellow. It's a nice transparent yellow, and it's also capable of doing some other fun things. So I'm just getting as much of the material off the end of the pipe as I can, and then I'm going to let it cool down. So here's another example. Another example of a color glass. This is in a chunkier consistency. We call these Brits. They're like little small pebbles. This is kind of a medium size. We can get them all the way up to about the diameter of a dime. This is actually purple, but it looks pretty dark in there. These colors come to us, they're very saturated and dense, and that's because they are intended to be stretched and blown out. And so if they didn't come to us very dense, then they just look too weak when we use them. So I'm letting this cool, because I'm going to go back to the furnace and get another coat of glass. And if I went in while I was still really hot, it would be hard to control after that.
So why is it little like frosted, that little tip there? It's not like clear.
Wait, what? Why does it look different up here than here?
Yeah, well,
that's just one of the things with this color, and it's one of the things I like. It's a little unpredictable at times.
Okay.
It's called iris yellow, and it's a nice transparent yellow, but if you get it thin enough in the right light, it actually looks magenta.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Works for me.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and gather again. So I'm going to use the end of my bench here to squish off all the glass that's on the pipe itself. There we go. So any material that's on the pipe itself is actually unusable to us. Oh, that's too small. This one's way too big. I don't have a Goldilocks block here. So I'm using a tool here called a block. It's basically a handheld mold made out of fruit wood that we keep soaking in water. And I'm just using it to get a nice symmetrical Q-tip-like shape of the glass. Now what I'm about to make, I actually only make big. So we're going to see how it goes making it small. And when I make them big, they take an hour to 2 hours to make. I think I can make a small one in about 15 minutes. We'll find out. So what I'm going to do, heat that up a little. I'm going to put a little bit of constriction in there, a little bit of jackline, but I'm not going to go crazy because if I make that constriction really tiny, it's going to make a weak point where the glass will get really floppy because it's just thinner. And I'm going to flatten it a little bit. Now I'm going to use these really cool shears here, duckbill got these a few weeks ago. And I don't... Use an air gun to cool off back here just a little bit. And spin.
Wow.
When I do the big ones, I pretty much have to use, I have a much bigger torch exclusively to do this, which is part of why it takes so long. I have to do a little bit on one leg, then a little bit on the other, back and forth, back and forth. Glass is basically something called the American Studio Glass movement happened, which basically took glass out of the factories and threw it in the hand of individual artists. And ever since then, it's gone crazy. In the early days, 1960s, 1970s, yes, they were making vesselware and craft items, but then people started experimenting, and glass has really come into its own as just a sculptural artistic medium. And that's really where my interest lies. I don't consider myself a vessel maker. But I do oddly have an interest in ancient glass. So what I'm about to make is a piece that's probably been in existence for about 2,000 years. It's a Roman-style bowl. And I think the reason I don't really have that much of an interest in like Italian glass from like the 14th to 16th century, even though that's when the technical skills really came to fruition. I think I'm interested in the older stuff because I'm amazed they figured it out. So I'm going to start on a preheated pipe. Also, I just think these bowls look cool. I'm going to get a good gather of glass. I'll probably do this one just to play it safe with 2 gathers of glass. Not rush it and try to get that master gather I've been doing. Yes, I will. I'm going to rush it. No, I have a reason. I think 2 gathers of glass would be just too much glass. So just hanging out and waiting a second and going in, I get that 1.5 gather that I want. And I'm even going to let the fiddle trip off. All right. So I'm going to dip it in that color. Now the Romans wouldn't have had glass powders and grits like we're using. They would have just been working with colored glass straight from the furnace. And you see a lot of ancient Roman glass. They did do some colorful stuff, but a lot of it was blue or green. That's actually natural contamination that's in the silica. They're all silica that makes up the glass. Either copper oxide or iron oxide. The iron oxide in particular tints it green. and it doesn't take much, like small parts per million, and it's pretty much impossible to get it out of the silica. If you ever take a piece of sheet glass and look at it on the edge, you'll notice it has a green tinge. That's what it's coming from. And suddenly I'm blanking on how to make this. That's not a good place to be in. I'm going to get that bubble in there. Got little shards all over the place. So I'm going to heat this up. I'm going to barber that tip. Same process that you saw with the cylinder. In fact, my goal is to make something that's cylindrical. So as I swing, I'm just going to hold it down. I lied. I have all the wires tonight. That hose all tangled around me. So, a lot of Roman vessels have what is called a Roman foot. It also had the nickname of Romaine foot. I'll tell you why in a minute. Roman foot is part of the bubble itself. I'm heating up just the front. Constriction in the bubble. And then I'm going to flatten this out a little. That pulls that glass on the end and touches it to the glass above it, making a, in theory, sealed foot. And you'll see these in different ways. Sometimes they were actually kind of pushed forward, so it made a lip on the bottom of these. Yeah, I would be fired from a welding glass studio. There's usually a little bubble around the perimeter there, and if there's any kind of gap, if it didn't fully seal, stuff will get in there and will never come out. And say, for example, if it was blind, things are going to start growing. So, now I'm going to punch this. So I honestly would never, as cool as they are, I would never actually recommend them for practical functional wear. Hopefully I didn't overheat it. I'm going to make that goblin style honey again because I know I'm thin down there. Furnaces like we're using here. In fact, they're fairly modern invention. I don't know the exact year, but I would say probably early 1900s, maybe late 1800s. Before that, even in factories, you always used your furnace to do reheats. In factories, they would have giant furnaces. We're talking tens of thousands of pounds of glass. And they would usually be brown and in the center of the facility. And there would be multiple gathering ports spaced throughout. And each gathering port with a workstation. I didn't want to do put it over there. Oh boy, that's so hard for the wrong tool. I'll do it. So another amazing thing that always amazes me is glass blowing. That is blowing bubble into glass to shape it. It's been around probably about 2,000, a little, maybe 2,100 years. We don't exactly know. It hasn't changed much. Now the Italians are the ones that really refined it in the, I would say, starting in the 12th century. And the way I blow glass is very much the Italian way, because each country has little regional differences. We got to go to Poland last year as part of the study abroad. And the way they work in Poland was just different enough to make it that I had a really hard time. But anyway, overall, it hasn't changed that much. The tools might look a little different, but the function was relatively the same. So you could take a Roman and bring it to a contemporary studio. First of all, they would be like, what just happened? But then they would also be like, this is great, because A, we don't have to fire furnaces, that's about the biggest change. But they probably would appreciate our tools a little better. You could take me and put me in a Roman studio, give me a day or two, and I'd be fine. Alright, I was just making sure that the piece was on center on the pipe, adjusting the tilt slightly. It still had a hint of movement in front. So now I'm just going to work the top. Another characteristic of Roman molds, in addition to that foot, is that they always, pretty much always, had a folded lip. That folded lip doubles the thickness at the lip. It's making it stronger. Now, one curious thing about Roman molds is they fold the lip inwards. My copies, I fold it outwards. It just makes more sense to me to not have that texture on the inside, you know, the area you're going to be putting food in. But tonight I'm going to do it the authentic way, which is good because it's easier. Doing it outside is actually harder. That's probably why they did it. First, I'm going to thin the glass out a little. This time I'm just doing it the tweezing method. I'm just grabbing the lip and tweezing out gently. Safety flash. Good aim. So now I'm going to reheat it and open it up. No Sofietti because the Romans didn't have Sofiettas. That is definitely an Italian invention. That puffer I used earlier, they did have something called a steam stick, which would just be a wooden cone that would be soaked in water. They could press that cone into the opening and it would have the same effect. It creates steam. Some people still use steam sticks. I don't like them. I've tried them a few times. I bet if I got used to it, it'd be fine. So, to do that folded lip, the nice thing about the inside lip is it's a lot easier. I'm just going to push that glass right there in and then start opening. Alright, I like it when it goes in one heat. There. So the lip would be the most fragile part, and that extra thickness prevents those chips and knots, and most of them were slaves. But they would be making 100 to 300 pieces a day. But that meant that the pieces they were making were fast. Most of them were going to be small little what are called scent bottles, and they were very tiny. And Romans were really making the perfumes. So that's what would go into scent bottles. But then there was practical Tupperware like that, and I did the math one time. And yes, glass was a high-end luxury item, but it was not outrageously priced. Thanks to some documentation in about the year 300, the price eating with Diocletian, we actually had a number store, but it's really awesome. A piece of glass would cost about a Roman soldier's day's wages. So you just have to figure out what that is. So expensive, yes, but not like buying a Lamborghini. Alright, well, we got time for a few more. So if anybody needed to go to the show tonight down the street, now's not a bad time to leave, but if not, we'll just keep going. What do I want to do? Speaking of fast Roman things, a lot of the stuff I'm showing you tonight I can do thanks to this guy who works at Corning named William Meguiar. He is like a glass historian / glass blower. When they don't know how something historic was made, they go to him. He'll figure it out. So I'm about to show you, I've seen a video of Meguiar doing this in 2 minutes. It usually takes me about 5. It would be a tiny little Roman style model. So I'm going to get a good sizable gather of glass. I don't think I'll be able to do it in 2. I haven't practiced this in a long time. Getting his shape out.
How much variety did the Romans glass blowers actually create? Do they have a repertoire of 10 things, 3 things?
That, I don't know, like an individual craftsman?
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. I'm willing to guess that they probably had their specialty within the studio.
Right.
Alright. Oh, the idea behind this piece is that you don't heat. So, I got a bubble in there?
Yeah.
First time I successfully did one of these, I thought it was the sloppiest looking thing ever. If you actually look at Roman glass, it was sloppy. So I don't feel so bad. Just making it more authentic. So, no heat. I already got a small little base type shape. Plenty of time. I am going to go do it in 2 pieces so I can put my pipe in place here. Now, one thing I also find fascinating, the Romans, probably the Greeks, were outstanding engravers. They did a lot of cameo engraving, which was done on shells and everything that had multiple layers. So they engraved through the top layer, exposing a darker layer beneath. And they would do little vignettes, scenes, so many things. It's called cameo engraving. Well, you do cameo engraving in glass too. So we don't know exactly when glass blowing started, but early estimates are now putting it at around 100 to 150 BC. Around 30 AD, so glass blowing hadn't been around that long in the grand scheme of things. The finest example of a cameo engraved piece was made. It's called the Portland vase, not after Portland, Oregon. Named after, I think, the Duke of Portland, who was the owner of it in the 16th century, whereabouts. And my goodness, was it exquisite. It was done with white and black glass. They did 2 layers. Black on the inside, white on the outside. And these days we have machinery and diamond abrasives that make it faster. They had to do it by hand with probably little wooden sticks and just sand and dust. It probably took ages. Alright, so it took me a little bit to get that heat up there at the top. Let's flare it out. This could also be done after the piece was made. They could make it, let it cool, and then they had little tools that could hold the back end, and they could just carefully in front of the furnace. We had a lot of work going on earlier today. It's going to be a small bottle shape that is going to have ribs in it. So again, this is a very Italian thing. They made these molds, we call them optic molds, and we got a whole bunch of different styles and sizes that have these grip patterns in it. And so I'm going to get my bubble and then blow into this optic mold, and I will put ribs into the piece. If I'm careful with my heating, those ribs will stay through the entire process. If I accidentally overheat the piece though, it does dull the ribs, and they're not as sharp as, so you got to actually work with less heat. This I will do 2 gathers for. I'm not pushing my luck. Now the Romans used a ton of molds. A good percentage of well, not just Roman glass, but factory glass in general, is always been blown in molds. Okay, so I get that in the shade, pop my bubble in there. I'm not going to blow it as big as I have been though. There we go. I'm going to let this cool down so I can gather over it. Now, Roman molds would have been made out of clay, and they would coat it with soot to act as a mold release so that it didn't stick to the clay. Our molds here are made out of aluminum primarily. In the factory, American factory system, still, I think West Virginia is still open, I think. They use cast iron molds. The issue there is you got to avoid overheating them or the glass will really stick to the metal. Italians, a lot of theirs are brass or bronze. Aluminum works fine, brass and bronze a little more costly. So I'm just letting this cool down. I was pushing a little because I noticed it was a tad off center. So, got a second coat of clear glass on there. And I'm going to use a block to get this into a nice symmetrical shape. That block was like just the right size. I actually would rather use a too large of a block than too small. But yeah, wood molds also exist. A lot of, in Poland, almost everything in their factories were blown into wood molds. They have a they have a lifespan, but kept soaked in water, you'll be able to make several hundred pieces, not several thousand. I actually have too much glass for what I'm doing. I'm going to need a bigger mold. Jaws boat, they're going to need a bigger mold. Movie fans? No. I drive my students nuts because about every 10th thing out of my mouth is an obscure movie reference. I do it in the hopes that one day, that 1 in 10,000th moment, they get it.
Well, if you start throwing out some Star Trek ones.
Oh, I do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I drive them nuts when I start referencing specific episodes. It's like, if you remember, in A Picture of a Man, they had to go on. Usually the response is, your nerve is showing. So I'm cooling the sides and then blowing again, which is helping push that bubble forward. Yep, I'm too big. I need a bigger mold. And normally we put a steel plate down, but since I'm working fast, I don't have the time to go fetch a steel plate. It's technically right over there. Put it right here so it's a little. Put it in blue. So now I have ribs, the piece. It's not from the raw material itself, it's not from the glass, it's from our furnace. These days you don't see that in sheet glass. So I'm pulling out again. And plating a little bit. Do this in one move. I'm not a good blower, I just play one on TV. And I'm stretching it out. By just heating the front, it will taper. Push the bottom in. Dent it slightly. Make it slightly concave. It actually sits flatter that way.
Showing off.
Yeah, I don't let students work by themselves at all. because this is significantly more challenging, and if you don't know what you're doing, potentially more dangerous.
Yeah, forget where
Glass
one rock
blowing,
is.
as scary as it looks, if you follow some common sense safety procedures, it's actually a very safe thing. I think you're at a higher risk of an accident or a burn in a commercial kitchen.
Everything's hot.
But yeah, this is
Everything's hot.
The floor is hot lava.
I remember what you taught me.
So this kind of honey, I call it dome honey. Sometimes I call it Q-tip honey. This gets a little bit of water on that comparison. Oh, yeah. Oh no. And they're not the most common tool. In fact, I've never worked at a studio, public or private, that actually had a pair with a shop. I've used them a handful of times just because somebody that happened to be in the shop had a pair. I'm like, can I try them out? The blades curve out. They don't actually cross in the front. And because of that, they never snag at the end of a cut. They're not good. They're kind of a specialty tool. They're not good for everything. I wouldn't use them for a lot of trimming, but trimming weird things, trimming thick things, trimming wide things, they're outstanding. Alright, so you're going to see something you saw before, well, except the reverse. So I have that little flange, I'm going to fold it over and do a folded lip. But this time it's going on the outside. A little harder to do. Usually it takes me 2 or 3. If I do, the punty will fuse on and the piece will never come off. Punties are meant to be temporary joints, and so the heat is very important. You want it hot enough to stick, but not hot enough that the glass is permanently fused to the other glass. That didn't quite work. I'm trying to build the heat up towards the middle and the back of the piece. I think I also put a bubble on. Keep it spinning.
Wow.
Now, if I stopped and held it down, it would have been one of those floppy bowls that people like to go on about. But keeping it spinning,
Wow,
makes a nice sort of flat platter.
I like it.
And because I did the ribs in there, it's very, very hypnotic.
I like it.
Because my lip was a little uneven when I folded it over, because I didn't take that, I should have cleaned it up a little bit more. That's why it did spin out perfectly round. I'm willing to bet this one will not come off. It will probably break when I try to break it off, but we'll find out.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we're over 7 o'clock. Actually, I'm like, I'm still game to go. That got me rushed up. So, that was an interesting thing, just being able to do multiple things at a time. That's the first time I've done that. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Liked it.
Yeah.
Well, I also didn't really want to do that because then you can see how fast some of those pieces are to make. And you're like, why does this cost $30? Because it costs a lot to operate this equipment. That's why.
Yeah.
You don't want to see our electricity and gas bill.
Not bad.
All right.
So Don picked up the piece he made. It looks really nice, Donnie. I like it. We're headed back to the car now. This piece here is similar to the one he did tonight with the swirling legs. Here's the witch's hat he did that we watched him do. And there's some other stuff over here in this window too. Pretty fascinating stuff. I did ask Mike tonight if this was an actual gas station, and he said yes. current estimate is to get back home at 11%. Significantly less than that 21% Ruby said when we left the house. Guess we'll have to watch it. Well, this is the decision point. To the supercharger or to the house?
I say let's go to the house.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Dawn on this one. Ruby says we'll get home with 10% left, and it's been holding pretty steady, so. Ruby says we have 29 miles of rated range left. We're home in the driveway. I think it was 10%. About what she said. In all fairness to that original 21% estimate, we did go through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru on the way out of town, which she didn't account for, and it was a very long trip through the drive-thru, and so we certainly lost a little bit of range doing that, so just saying.